Take 5 minutes of record. I'm going to back the hall.
Hello and welcome to the news at 1 on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. I am Mariam George Jitubo. Most office complex in the FCT have complied to the directive of the federal government to fly the flag at half-mast to mourn Chief Ernest Shonekan, the former head of the interim national government, who died Tuesday at 85. Sophia Norma Uchi visited some organizations in the territory to ascertain the level of compliance.
Driving around the nation's capital city, we saw flags flying at half-mast. This is in compliance to the directive of the federal government as a mark of respect to late Chief Ernest Shonekan. Residents describe him as a man of integrity and humility, the qualities they said propelled him to greatness.
As the head of the interim government, he deserved that respect. He deserved a public holiday. Even one day, take the whole one day for the federal government to declare that he deserves that.
Ernest Shonekan was a national leader, a complete gentleman, an embodiment of humility, as mentioned by his former aide, Shola Atere, and as a leader who has served this country meritoriously.
Shonekan was a very transparent person, and I wish he's alive today. The little I heard about him was he was never a tribalistic person, he was a neutral person.
He came in at a very critical time in the history of this country. So we must learn to respect people who have earned their reputation.
Late Chief Ernest Adegunle Shonekan was the chairman of the interim national government between August 26 and November 17, 1993, and he will be mostly missed by majority of Nigerians. Sophia Uche, NTA News.
Similarly, former governor of Oyo State, Christopher Alao Akala, is dead. Alao Akala, who was born in Ogbomosho, Oyo State on June 3, 1950, died at the age of 71 at Ladoke Akintola University of Technology Teaching Hospital, Ogbomosho. And talking politics, in fulfillment of the Electoral Act, the FCT INEC has formally presented the voter register to the political parties for the FCT Area Council's election. Political correspondent Ifoma Ojinta is live at the INEC Electoral Institute. Now, Ifoma, can you tell us more on this?
Okay, thank you very much, Mariam. You know, you're just coming to me a bit late because the formal presentation of the voters register to members of the political parties or their representative just ended, you know, in this hall at the National INEC Institute. So, although the presentation is in line, you know, with the Electoral Act, which states that the commission, that is INEC, is expected, you know, to present the voter register, you know, 30 days before the election, and that is what INEC FCT, you know, just did. And with me here still, luckily for me, is the FCT resident electoral commissioner, Yahaya Bello. He will tell us, you know, the import of this exercise. Please, sir, you are live in the studio. Can you tell us, you know, the import of what the commission just did here today?
Thank you very much. You have already even told them the import. The import is that we want to adhere to constitutional matters, you know, legal procedures. Also to ensure that we enforce our own regulations. We have been able to gather all the political parties, the 14 that have registered to partake in this election in the FCT. They are here, they have signed and collected their own voter registers for the February 12 FCT elections. The importance of this, they have the registers now. They know the number of polling units that we have. They know the number of people who have registered. They know that it is up to them now to reach their people. If they have anything, any objection, any observation they have on the register, they will be able to contact us before the election. We ourselves, we have been perusing the register ourselves to see if there is any place where, for example, issues could be raised from political parties so that we can be able to address them. But the most important thing, register of people who have been registered to partake in the 2022 FCT election. That is the objective.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
You are most welcome.
Thank you. Now, Mariam, if you can hear me, aside the presentation of the voter register, the commission, also educated or enlightened the political parties on the technology to be deployed for the FCT area council election come February 12. And after the whole exercise, I actually spoke to some members of the political parties, and they said they are pleased and of a successful 2022 FCT area council election. And that will be all for now. Thank you very much, Mariam, for coming to me live at the INEC Institute.
Thank you, Ifoma, for keeping us up to date. And now talking health. As part of efforts at curtailing the spread of COVID-19 in the FCT administration has warned all staff who have yet to be vaccinated to stay away from the office premises, effect from Monday, the 17th January 2022. In a statement signed by the Senior Special Assistant to the FCT Minister on Media, Abubakar Sani, the warning is contained in a circular issued to all the secretariats, departments and agencies. The statement added that all visitors and clients coming to do business in the FCTA secretariat are required to comply with this directive, as vaccination points have been made available in all FCTA premises to provide opportunity for staff and visitors alike to get vaccinated. Meanwhile, figures from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, as at 11 January 2022, indicates 57 new cases of COVID-19 in the FCT. The number of confirmed cases stands at 27,769, while active cases now 2,727, and the number of discharged cases stands at 24,801, and 241 deaths have been recorded in the Federal Capital Territory. And now talking security. In continuation of the Operation Save G7, the leader of the team is giving out a strong warning with a 4-point agenda. Tessie Mary reports that Deputy Commissioner of Police, Benneth Igwe, gave the warning during the security check program on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. That story will come your way in the course of the bulletin. Moving on, disturbed by the proliferation of shanties along the road corridor, the FCT enforcement team stormed some scavengers' hub to clear some illegal structures serving as criminal hideouts at the Life Camp and other neighboring communities. Onoze Yakubu tells us more.
These demolished structures were hitherto used shelter and commercial purposes mainly by scavengers and traders. The affected structures and scrap materials is sitting on the right-of-way of a major road network around Angwambalibali off FAP Estate and behind Kado Fish Market near the Life Camp axis of Gwarimpa district of Abuja. The Senior Special Assistant on Monitoring, Inspection and Enforcement to the FCT Minister, Iharu Atta, says the action followed a complaint sent to the FCT administration through the Command and Control Center.
We are warning land speculators, land grabbers within Gwarimpa and other estates to stay clear of waterways, green areas, and are not earmarked for building purposes. If they do that, we'll come after them and we'll remove the whole structure, and like the minister said, they will be arrested and prosecuted for wasting government resources. We came here because this man had cleared off all the trees in this area. This is not a place allocated for house. He's trying to stop water. That means if nothing is done in shortest possible time, Gwarimpa Housing Estate will be having flooding. Look at the marking on the pond here. FHA kept marking, FCDA kept marking, Development Control kept marking, and the person persisted in trying to build on the waterbed here in Gwarimpa, we will not take it at all.
We have actually spent a lot of money getting to 3 million, and we acquired this property through the chief.
More than 100 illegal structures were demolished in the communities visited. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Residents of Gwarimpa area of the FCT are appealing to the FCT Water Board to supply them with potable water. They made the appeal through correspondent Safia Uchi, who visited the area. The reports.
Water supply in Gwarimpa for some months now has been epileptic in some areas, while some areas have no water at all. This leaves residents wondering why.
Like in this village now, Gwarimpa village now, we have water. But when you go to Worcester housing inside the estates, they don't have water.
There are some places there is no water.
We really hustle to get water, like it's stressful.
There is water, but there is no water. There is water, meaning that we know that pipe is connected, but water running out from the pipe we've not seen for many months. Basic human needs, number one is water, before light even. So it's very important that government should look into providing water to its citizens.
The FCT Water Board, however, says it is doing its best to restore water supply in the area, as various meetings are being held to address the situation.
There must be a problem, like you just pointed out, possibly pipe burst, and make sure that wherever the problem is, we will get it rectified. I know water is life, and we give the utmost importance to it.
The acting general manager, FCT Water Board, Dame Joy Okoro, emphasized that water is a necessity of life that must be provided. Safia Uche, NTA News.
And in order to further save lives of Kubwa residents and its environs, motorists in Abuja are appealing to the Federal Capital Territory Administration to fix the broken portions of the Kubwa Bridge on the expressway, which is assuming a dangerous posture to the road users. Deborah Gazajimaika reports.
This is Kubwa Expressway, and this is the broken bridge, probably as a result of an accident that must have occurred some time ago. This has been the condition of this bridge for some time now, begging for attention.
If you have been plying the Kubwa Expressway, you will agree with me that some portions of the bridge have remained in that condition for more than a year. Motorists in the route are, however, appealing to the Federal Capital Territory Administration to do the needful by fixing the broken parts of the bridge to further prevent danger.
I want to thank you people in the first place for trying to bring exposing the danger there. Many times, many vehicles fell into it. And if care is not taken, many more will fall into it.
For that bridge, so that it won't be causing, like, vehicle now can maybe capsize in that place and further inside the bridge, and inside, say there is a water there. So at least since they are our leaders now, they are supposed to look into the place and do something about it.
Some lament lack of maintenance culture on public facilities. They wish that there could be change of attitude by some drivers who overspeed on the expressway.
Lack of maintenance culture. Basically, that's what it just is. Because I don't see a situation whereby over a year that thing has been bad and nobody has been out to do anything. Imagine a vehicle misses its way into that place. It will automatically somersault into it. So I don't see a reason why they should still continue leaving it like that.
A lot of factors lead to the damage of these facilities, but it is expected that authorities in charge address them. Deborah Gazajimaika, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 1 on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. We now take some messages. We'll be right back. Please stay with the station. Glad to have you back. And now to our earlier report where we said Operation Save G7 has issued out a strong warning with 4-point agenda. Tessie Omeri takes it up from here.
The Deputy Commissioner of Police, Benneth Igwe, who is also in charge of the Operation Save G7, made it clear that these operations will use all resources available to achieve its target of dislodging all criminal elements in border towns of the FCT.
We have to invade them. After trekking for almost 2-3 hours, we were able to reach where they are doing the bunkering, the illegal mining. We have to arrest them, we recovered drugs. They were shooting at us. Because since they started doing the business, no police or no security agents have reached that side. So they are in their own heaven. So, but we were forced to reach there.
He came up with a 4-point agenda, all in a bid to make it uncomfortable for criminals to operate.
If you are among these people that are running away who have chased in Mate and the Azam and so on, you'll be on their own. So it's 4-point agenda. Either you are in the mortuary, or you are in the prison yard, or you are in police cell, or you'll be on their own. That's the 4-point agenda this year. And we are pursuing it with all intentions and purposes, without fear of evil.
DC Igwe re-emphasized on the need for citizens to always know their neighbors as the first step in curtailing crimes. With the positive feedbacks from members of the community, the DC called for a sustenance of the collaboration for more breakthroughs. Tessie Omeri, NTA News.
The society value that younger persons must respect elders is gradually eroding and calls for concern. Hawa Gimba in this report takes a look at the factors responsible.
According to an article, whereas previous generations misbehave as rebellion against parents, friends, families, neighbors, or authorities. In today's world, youth are so caught up in their own self-contentance that no authorities exist in their minds. Some people say the future is coming, but the future is already here with the younger generation who lack morals, values, and respects. Former FCT Amira, Federation of Muslim Women Society, Dr. Mariam Abdullahi shed light on way back growing up among elders.
During our time, neighbor can talk to neighbors' children to advise them. Even if not beaten, they can beat them if they do something wrong, because neighbor is like a relative. So in that case, neighbor is a father, neighbor is a mother.
In the contemporary society, parents do not spend enough time with their children or even discipline them when they commit an offense that could dent the image of the family. Many attribute this to parents' career, social media, and online chatting.
Sometimes I think it's the parents' fault, because you can see parents, the way we know the parents of olden days, like now, if a child does something wrong, anybody from anywhere, you can even talk to that person that leave that thing, is not good, or you can stop it. But now, if he does that now, the child, the father of that child, you ask you, is he your child? Please don't do that. So, and the child is for anybody.
So if a neighbor advises your child on the right direction, it is perfectly well.
Generally speaking, respect is reciprocal. Initially, when we grew up, that morality was there. Today's children, most of them don't want to go even to church. And part of the problem is the parent.
It is advised that youth should understand that elders who have gone through the same stage learn a lot with their lives. Hence, youth should imbibe morals and respect as a way of life. Hawa Gimba, NTA News.
Appreciation or gratitude to God and to fellow humans is a key to the heart for more favors and attention. This is usually expressed in a 2-word phrase, thank you, more often taken for granted. Olajumoke Adebisi has more details on the International Thank You Day, celebrating the act of appreciation.
The International Thank You Day is observed annually on this day, the 11th of January, to encourage people around the world to show gratitude and appreciation to those around them, be it neighbors, family members, friends, and co-workers. In today's world, a simple phrase like thank you will go a long way in making people feel appreciated and happier. It will also make them want to do things in a better way.
I think thank you is a kind of appreciating people, or somebody that have done something good in your life.
In fact, I appreciate thank you in many ways. I can give you an assistant for anything you may be looking for, maybe the one I have known.
There is no special way to celebrate this day than to say thank you and possibly share gifts.
I normally say thank you, and if it is something I need to even come later to come and say, use even if it's gift, to give the person, to really tell the person that I really appreciate what he or she did to me, I will do that.
Appreciation should be shown all through the year to those who deserve it, and thank you should always come from the heart and not as a form of duty. Olajumoke Adebisi, NTA News.
And talking sports, FCT residents and Nigerians have commended the show of tactical football that saw Nigeria overpower the Pharaohs of Egypt in their Group D opener of the 2021 African Cup of Nations. John Ojo got more of the reactions.
I was expecting us to lose actually, because I was expecting the Egyptians to wallop us at about 3 to 4-0, because preceding the tournaments, all our friendly games, we were not playing like the way we were supposed to play. So, but yesterday match, they surprised me actually.
Eagles did very well. I never expected us to win the match, but in the 30th minute, Iheanacho actually cleared my doubts that we could do that, and I'm sure we can do better with the players we have, even with the absence of Osimhen, Emmanuel Dennis, and Igalo. We still did very well.
Honestly, I was very impressed. Initially, before the match, I had doubts over the team selection, but when the match started, for the opening 10 minutes, I was very impressed, and I saw positive signs, and I was hoping that we could get the victory, and we got it, and I was very happy, honestly.
Meanwhile, Nigeria breaks record, defeats Egypt 1-0 in the African Cup of Nations Group D opener as the Super Eagles shift attention to clash with Sudan in the second game on Saturday. And with the US Open getting close, Imaru Dukan and has been swept aside by Elena Rybakina in Sydney opener. Let's join Ahmed Abdurazak for details on Sports Brief.
The biggest match of Africa Cup of Nations saw Nigeria emerge victorious over Pharaohs of Egypt in Group D. The 30-minute goal of Kelechi Iheanacho was enough to see the Super Eagles triumph. The Leicester City man, alongside Moses Simon and Joe Aribo, formed what looked like the best attack of the tournament. Described to be incredible when taking into account big names the squad is missing up front. The indomitable Lions of Cameroon is topping Group A table. In Group B, National Elephants of Guinea is at the peak. The Brazilian of Gabon, Foxes of Algeria, and Scorpion of Gambia are on top of Group C, E, and F respectively. In today's fixtures, Tunisia will clash with Mali, Mauritania will slug it out with Gambia, while Equatorial Guinea and Ivory Coast will be on pitch later tonight. In other news, Imara Dukanu is off to a rough start in her preparation for the Australian Open. In her first match of the year, the British teenager was swept aside 6-0, 6-1 by Elena Rybakina. The performance raises new questions about Raducanu's form as the teenager enters her first Grand Slam since turning the tennis world by winning the US Open in August 2021. With Sports Brief, Ahmad Abdurazak, NTA News.
And before we go, do remember to take your COVID-19 vaccine and adhere strictly to safety protocols to keep safe, more so with the emergence of the Omicron variant. And with that, we end the news at 1. Join us at 7 for more news. Enjoy the rest of the day.